So we'll begin with example 3 for our second video of 10C. It says the diagonal of a square is 5 square root of 6 inches long. So we'll just kind of draw a picture here. So a square means all the sides are the same, and we know that the diagonal is 5 radical 6. So since the sides are the same, they're going to both be x. So again, this is going to form a right angle right there. So I have, you can see here in this top part, a right triangle. So I'm going to say the legs then are x and x. So I have x squared plus x squared is 5 radical 6 squared. So this is going to add up to be 2x squared. When I square this, I'm going to get 25 times 6. And that's going to be, what, let's see, 30 carry your 350 is 2x squared. All right, we need to solve it. So remember, we need to isolate the x squared. So I'm going to divide by 2 and get x squared is equal to 75. Then take the square root of both sides, and x is equal to the square root of 75. Simplify it. So that's 25 and 3. So x is 5 radical 3 for our answer. All right, so how about example 4? This time we have a rectangle, and we're given that it measures 5 feet by, so I'll put a 5 here, 2 radical 5 feet. Find the length of its diagonal. So again, this is going to have a right angle in it here. So when I look for the diagonal, we don't know what that is, so I'll call it x. So the legs then are the sides of the rectangle. So we get 5 squared plus 2 radical 5 squared is equal to x squared. So that's going to be 25 plus here, this is going to give me 4 times 5. So that's 20. So I get 25 plus 20. So that's 45 is equal to x squared, and x is equal to the square root of 45, which is going to simplify into 3 radical 5 for my answer. All right, so here we go with example 5. We have a triangle below. It's equilateral. So remember that equilateral means that all the sides are the same, and each side's 10 units long, so they're all 10. So 10, 10, and the bottom one's also 10. It says find the height of the triangle. A hint, the height is a line of symmetry. So this, in an equilateral triangle, the height splits the bottom into equal parts. So there's going to be 5 on this side and 5 on this side to add up to my 10. So here I have a right triangle, and H now is a leg that I'm looking for. So I'm going to say that 5 squared plus H squared is equal to 10 squared. So be careful. Now, I think this is the first time this has happened for us, but we have the 5 squared, and the other leg is H squared. It's going to equal to 10 squared. So I have 25 plus H squared is equal to 100. I'm going to subtract my 25, so I get H squared is equal to 75. H is the square root of 75, which is going to be 25 and 3. So that's then going to be 5 radical 3 is my value of H. All right, so let's skip down to example 7. A box in the shape of a rectangular prism, so like a shoebox, has a base that's 6 feet by, that's a big shoebox, 6 feet by 4 feet, and is 2 feet high. So here's 2, this might be a 6, and this a 4. So we'll just put those numbers in there. A long metal rod must fit along the longest diagonal of the box. So that would be here. So it kind of goes from the top left corner to the bottom right corner. To the nearest tenth of a foot, what's the length? What length will fit inside the box? Now, so this is going to take a couple of steps, but I'm going to kind of show you one. So I'm going to kind of do this going across here. So eventually this is going to be the triangle that I'm going to use. to come up with the length D. But I know how high this is, so I know that this is 2 over here, but I don't know how far it is across here. And so I'm going to have to calculate that. And I can do that because, again, oh, this is going to be 4 over here. This is going to be a right angle right there because it's a shoebox shape, it's a box shape. So I'm going to use I'm going to start off here with this one. And I'm going to do this triangle first. So I'm going to have 2 legs. So I have 4 squared plus 6 squared is equal to, I'll call this x squared. So it's going to be 16 plus 36 is equal to x squared. So I'm going to add it, and that's going to be 52 is equal to x squared. So x is equal to the square root of 52. Now that might simplify, but I'm not going to do it in the middle of a problem. I may in a minute, but for right now, no. So that means my x right here is square root of 52. So now I'm going to do the Pythagorean theorem on the blue box. So again, here's my right angle right here. Here's my right angle, and I'm going to say that 2 squared plus the square root of 52 squared is going to be equal to d squared. So that's going to be 4 plus 52 is equal to d squared. So 56 is equal to d squared, and then d is going to be the square root of 56, which we will put in our calculators and come up with. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. So I'll stop this video.